So we got the Gravely here, and we're trying to solve why the forward clutch is vibrating so badly and chewing the pad down. So we just put a new clutch pad on there. As you can see here, this is the original kind that the Gravely used on these, and the brake or the fiber, the clutch fiber is glue on, like you epoxy it on. You use a hammer and a chisel to scrape off what's remaining of your old one, and then you glue on a new pad like this. Now, as you can see, I just glued this on here less than a month ago, and it's must have chewed down like between a 16 to an 8 already, because it's vibrating so fiercely. So it's back. See why it's doing that, and I'm going to show you what I found on this. So when you move this cam thingy here, the sloped part of the cam pushes the pad against the other part and engages the clutch. The more the lever moves the cam here. See the slopes, the slope part, and then up here on top of the slope part, there's like a cruise control notch. When you put her up in that notch, it's kind of like a cruise control, and it stays there on these cams. I'll show you the cams that it rolls on. So those slow parts roll on these rollers. See these rollers? And then, so this is how you set the clutch, is this plate. The tension against the, there's some Belleville plates back in here. And that's how it sets the tension. Now, I'm going to show you why this vibrates something fierce. So this part here that the lever moves, the rod from the control arm, from when you move the lever forward, this moves this to where it's pressing the rollers that I just showed you. Roll up this slow part, and it presses this clutch against the other half. Now there's a giant ball bearing in here, see, so that this spins smoothly as the tractor is running. So the shaft is always spinning. One part of this is always spinning. I don't know if it's the shaft or if it's the part that the other part goes in. I think the shaft always spins. And then how it engages it, yeah, the shaft always spins, and then this disc on the spline always spins. But how it engages it is it's pressing this fiber against another round part on the tractor transmission. Yeah, that's how it works. But the reason this vibrates something fierce is, look, this is supposed to be on there like solid, like precise and solid, and it's not. This bearing spun, so even though it's loose, it's rough, it's spun on the bushing. You see how far it wore it down? There's like a 16th or so of an offset that it spun on and ground her down. Now that groove here is for the snap ring, and these discs here are your Belleville spring. These two discs act like a spring, but this is for the snap ring. But look at this area here. There's literally a lip from the bearing spinning and wearing it down. So this ball bearing, this is supposed to be on here very precise, but it's not. So it's going like this as it's spinning, and it's causing this to vibrate so fiercely that it's just grinding this pad down. So that's what's wrong with it. We're just going to replace the whole clutch with a good used one, and that's what you got to do. You got to look out, and you got to analyze and see what's going on with this stuff. But that's what's wrong with her. She's spun. The bearing spun. So if you buy a good used one, make sure that the bearing is smooth and free, and that it's not worn like this. But yeah, that's junk.